everyone, I'm Glenn Mackintosh, the Weight Psych, and today a very special guest and I are going to answer your questions on feeling confident enough to go to the gym. Welcome to Thursday Therapy, where I answer your questions on the psychology of eating, movement, weight, and body image every 2 weeks. Today's question comes from Shay. Shay asks, how do I get motivated to go to the gym? When I go, I feel judged for my size. Not so much from staff, but other gym users. And I'm not confident in what to do when I get there. Shay, this is a really good question. I see so many people in this space. It might be that you had negative experiences with physical education as a kid. It might be that you've had a bad experience with a gym or a PT, or it could be that you just have never been into the gym or haven't been for a long time. So this is a really good one. And you know what, guys? First things first. There are plenty of ways to move your body, so we don't want to make anyone feel like you have to go to a gym in order to be a fit, healthy person. You can do that without ever stepping into a gym. But a lot of people do want to go there because, of course, it is a place that is designed to help you get fitter, stronger, and healthier. So if that's you, this can help you to get in there. Or if you really think, you know what, this is just not for me, you might be able to apply these principles to doing something that will work for you, like a yoga class or an aqua aerobics group or learning to dance or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my few favorite ideas on how to feel confident enough to get into the gym, and then I'm going to refer you to probably the best person that I could ever refer you to, Libby Babet, who runs Buff Girls Fitness to help every girl become beautiful, unstoppable, and fearless, as well as the Agosia Gym in Sydney. The first thing that I want you to think about is finding a good gym for you. You know, for a lot of people, stepping into any gym is going to be daunting. And of course, no place is going to be absolutely perfect, but I think it's really well worthwhile to take a bit of time to do the search and find a spot that's going to really suit you. I can spend a whole session with someone researching the various gyms and fitness facilities close to their home and work, searching the net, talking about them, even calling the places in session, and I feel like that's time really well spent. If you find the right spot for you, you can save yourself a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money. And for most people, if you sit down to do this, this will only take a few hours. And you know what? I'm going to refer you also to the FitList TV, which is another YouTube channel featuring my twin brother, Heath Mackintosh, whose mission is to help everyone find their perfect fit. He's showcasing some beautiful health and fitness facilities that can help open your mind up. But that's my first point, is really have a look around, take the time, experiment with different places, do your research, and it will pay off in the long term. The second thing I want you to do is to be brave. Even when you find the right place for you, the reality is you still have to step your foot through the door. And if you're a bit nervous, a bit uncertain, or downright scared, that's okay. These feelings are normal, and that's where courage happens. Not when you're not scared, but when you kind of feel the fear and you do it anyway. When you've found somewhere that you're comfortable with, don't take some unpleasant feelings as automatic signs that this place is not right for you. Be brave, have a bit of courage, get your foot in the door and try it. Often motivation to do something comes from doing that thing, and we get a sense of comfort in familiarity over time. So if you do step your foot in the door, you may find that it's completely wrong for you, but you're fine anyway. Or you might find that the biggest worry was actually the fear of getting in, and the movement is the easy part. The third thing that I want you to think about, and I know that this is not easy, is to try not to worry too much about other people's opinions. Now, here's a few ideas that might help you to do that. The first thing is, I've got a background in sport and exercise psychology, so I know inside the minds of the body beautiful, the fitness freak, the absolute athlete. And what I can tell you is that generally, those people are so concerned about themselves, especially when they're in the middle of their workouts, that you don't even really factor in. I had one of my clients who was brave enough to actually go and ask a few people who she thought were looking at her while she was doing her gym session. She asked 3 different people, and she was convinced after doing that that none of them were looking at her. Now, obviously, I don't want to ignore the reality that weight bias, discrimination and stigma does exist. So I just want to give you some thoughts on people that may judge you for your weight, your shape, your size, your level of fitness, your age, or anything else that you're worried about. The first thing that I want you to think about is that those opinions are just that, opinions. For a second, I want you to think of someone really close to you, like a sibling or a parent. And I want you to think, when you think about them, what are your first opinions? And then I want you to think about someone that they know, like their best friend or their closest relative, and think, well, what would that person say about them? What's their opinion? And then I want you to think about that person. I want you to think about, what would a neighbour or a stranger say about that person? What would their opinion be? And what you'll probably find is that there's a bit where it merges, a lot where it's different. Who is right? Who is way off? Everyone? No one? They're just opinions. So what I want you to try and do is leave other people's opinions to being their business and you do you. So guys, enjoy having a play around with those ideas, but I've got something really special for you. I've been following Libby Babet's work for a long time now, and when we got to work together on The Biggest Loser Transformed, you could just see how she helped the contestants who weren't so familiar with exercise or the gym just grow to feel comfortable and eventually absolutely love movement. So she is the perfect trainer to help us with some further ideas about being confident to get into the gym. Another Thursday therapy referral where we refer out. I'm going to whip up a little bit of magic. And here we are with super trainer, my mate Libby Babet. Libby, thank you for seeing us.
Hi guys, it's so lovely to be here, and that magic ride into this couch position was awesome.
It was pretty good, right?
Really good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
So Lib, have you got some ideas for our guys? I said that you are, no pressure, but I said you are the person to see to help them get confident in going to the gym.
You know what? I have got plenty of ideas for you guys, and I can't wait to get into them. You know what? I'm scared of gyms too. I'm just putting it out there. Even a PT who's been in this industry for so long now, I walk into a gym and I'm kind of scared.
And I think it's so good for our guys to hear that the super trainer walks into a new gym. Because Libby, you had an experience recently where you had to go to a gym.
Yeah, so we were actually travelling for The Biggest Loser Transformed, and I was in a hotel, down in Perth, over in Perth, and I went to a new gym because obviously I wasn't at home. And I went into this gym, I walk in, and I kind of started getting heart palpitations straight away. It's a new environment. There's heaps of people I don't know there. Some of them look really muscly. Some of them look really sexy.
Yeah.
A lot of the equipment's taken up, and I went in with a plan, but when I got there, that kind of went out the window, and I got a bit nervous.
And I think that's really good for people to know that if Libby gets nervous, I talked about this before with our guys, that it's really normal to be a little bit fearful. And that's totally, like you invited me to a Goja this morning.
Yeah.
Had a great time.
Did good.
But I was freaking out.
Yeah.
Beforehand I'm like, where are my list of excuses?
I was actually worried you weren't going to show up. But you did.
I was worried myself.
That's the thing though, like it's actually fine to be a little bit fearful because that feeling of being a bit nervous and it kind of verges on excitement a little bit, but there is that fear element. that's how you know you're living.
Yeah.
Right? You know, if you never have that, you're kind of like,
you know, like from a psychological point of view, we know that the difference between fear and excitement, it's all of the same thing happens in your body. Like, you know, the heart palpitations, sweaty palms, it's just a lot of it is in how you interpret it.
Yeah, it definitely is. And that's exactly what happened to me when I went into this gym in Perth. You know, I walked in, I was nervous, there's people everywhere. And then I thought to myself, okay, what's going to happen if I don't do this session that I've come prepared to do? How will I feel when I walk out and I haven't done it? And the bottom line was I would kind of feel a bit disappointed that I hadn't got my endorphin rush. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to turn this fear into excitement. And I had a great session. One guy that was next to me that was super muscly, I had a chat to him because I was a bit nervous about him. So I said, hey, how you doing? I'm Libby. We ended up best mates. We had a challenge at the end.
Yeah.
And so once you kind of just get in there, you know, doing cures the fear, doesn't it? So
totally.
That's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
Do it and the fear disappears.
So Lib, let me ask you this then, because obviously, you know, if the fear is too high, then it's just going to be too big a barrier. What do you suggest to people who might not have been to the gym ever or might not have been in ages to help ease themselves into it?
Definitely. I mean, the worst case situation is you haven't ever been to the gym and then you walk in without a plan and you're freaked out, and that's just fear upon fear upon fear.
Yeah.
So best thing to do is actually prepare yourself a little bit before you go in by starting with getting used to moving your body. So I talk a lot about not worrying about doing the exercise. Think about creating a movement culture for yourself. So I am the kind of person that has a movement culture. That means I have to move my body every single day, but it doesn't mean I have to do exercise. It could be I go to the gym. It could be going for a walk. It could be I buy a $2 skipping rope from the Heart Foundation. I do 10-minute skipping a day. Do something to prepare yourself and get your body used to it.
And you know what? I've got to say that I thought when I was coming down here that I would get the invite to a Goja, and people think they think I'm pretty fit, but I'm actually not that fit.
He was pretty fit.
Well, I kind of cheated because I followed this principle that you're talking about.
Right.
I got myself a gym membership in Brisbane, and I've been going to the gym for like 6 weeks.
Yeah. To prepare.
Totally.
I love that. And that's really important. And you know, it can be going to the gym that you're comfortable in to prepare, or it could be something like what I actually do, which I really love, and I know I've tried to get you to do this before, is do what I call podcast walks. Because walking for me, I love it. But sometimes it's a bit boring if you don't have someone there to go with. I mean, walking with someone you love is incredible because it's a great way to connect, see your girlfriend, you know, spend time with your partner or your kids. But if you're by yourself, sometimes it's a bit boring. So if you've got a phone, check out the podcast app. The podcast app is this like purple and white, kind of looks like a satellite dish thing.
We'll put it up here.
Put it up.
Or here.
There, somewhere. But check it out, and all you have to do is go in there, and people, it's like this incredible resource where experts and people tell stories, explore topics in an audio sense. So you can go in and search nutrition, for example, and all different nutritionists from around the world or people talking about nutrition will have these places where they've talked for either 10, 20 or 30 minutes about the topic. And you can download one, put it in your ears and walk for the length of it. So I love to like look for a new podcast series of say 10 episodes, and I make myself a little deal that in the fortnight I'm going to listen to all 10 while I go for a walk.
Yeah, very cool.
And you learn and you exercise.
And that's so cool because from a psychology point of view, motivation is just a bunch of positive thoughts. And you I remember you saying this to me before, to actually listen to stuff around health, around fitness, because even if you're not yet in the gym, it's sort of changing your mindset and mentally preparing you.
100%. And there are some really cool people, like look for people who've done great things, you know, people who've run marathons and how they prepared, and a lot of them start from never doing anything.
Totally.
So you can listen to their journey as you walk and start yours, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and you can take that as inspiration, like the workout we did today at a Goja. It was this guy who had climbed Everest all these times, and you can take that as like, well, I'm never going to be able to do that, but you can say it's like, I can channel a little bit of that energy.
Yeah, exactly, and bring it in, and that is the cool thing, because you're, as you say, you visualize something, you start to get interested in it, you develop a curiosity around it, and then before you know it, you're doing it. So podcasts are incredible, and plus, humans learn from stories. We love stories. We've been telling them since, you know, our great ancestors. So it's really nice to listen to stories as you walk.
Very cool.
Yeah. He's going to do it now.
Let's all do it together. Deal.
Okay, deal. Finally.
So Lib, we've motivated ourselves. We're facing the fear, seeing it as excitement.
Yes.
We're in the gym.
Well done. Well done.
Well done. Now what?
Good question. Now what? And it is really important that you go in with a plan. I should say that, because even for me, I get in there, I don't have a plan. I spend half my session mucking around, and that's frustrating.
Yep.
So look, step one, if you've never been into the gym and you're really nervous going in there and everyone looks a bit scary, then one of the things that can be really good is just find a place where you can feel like you are kind of cocooned a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not in everyone's road. And for me, that always starts with the cardio machines. So it doesn't mean you have to go crazy on them, but pick a cardio machine. Can be a bike, can be a rower, can be a runner, can be a step machine if you really, want to work hard. But choose one of those and just decide to stay on it for 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere else.
So why cardio?
Well, the thing is that the weights floor can be a little bit intimidating.
Totally.
So it's not that cardio works better, it's that you can get on a piece of equipment and it is yours for as long as you want it to be. And I think that's a really important mental barrier for people to cross is I'm in the gym and I'm doing it. And I've got my space and no one's going to intrude on it. And that's a safe place to start.
It's like a safe, that's what I'm thinking. It's like your own safe little cocoon.
100%. I mean, better yet if you can actually have a PT, because they will create a cocoon for you and teach you how to do stuff at the same time. But that might not be step one. Step one might be get in, choose a machine and jump on it and, just walk for 20 minutes, listen to a podcast while you walk for 20 minutes, or listen to some music or jump on a bike or whatever, and then you've done it.
Just kind of get in your own little zone.
Your own little cocoon, And once you become comfortable cycling or walking or whatever for 20 minutes, then maybe next time you go in, you can start slow jogging for a minute and walking for a minute, slow jogging for a minute, walking for a minute, interval training, which is incredibly effective and, will get you really great results. So there's some good places to start. Step one. But do you want to know step two?
Give me step two.
Look, as we said, either step one or step two could be a PT. PTs are absolutely invaluable. But maybe that's not an option for you. I know they're expensive and that's cool. So what I really love, and you loved it today too at Agosia, is group training.
It was really good.
Really good fun. And every gym has some kind of group training element. And the reason that's so great is because one of the big fears I think walking into the gym is, oh God, everyone's looking at me, and you go into a group class and everyone's looking at the instructor, Yeah, your instructor, I know they call him, and all your instructors are enter-trainers. Enter-trainers. It is kind of like you're just along for the ride, watching the show and moving your body at the same time. And a lot of group instructors are like that. They're there to put on a show for you and give you a great experience, and all eyes are on them, not looking around at everyone else. So group training is a really great way to step beyond what feels too safe and into a space where I'm ready to grow, but I need help and guidance to do it. And if you're not ready for a PT, then group instruction is just such a great way. You've got strength classes, cardio classes. You'll start to learn some moves, start to learn some ideas, some timings, and you can do it at your own pace, and it's flexible. So I love group training, and whether you do it at a big gym or some cool boutique gyms where you get to know everyone and get some friends too. But group training is number two. So it's kind of like get your safe space, whether that's just going by yourself and avoiding the big, strong, fit, young, body, beautiful for the moment, who are actually probably a lot of them are great people. Totally. Or if you need to, just find a good PT or group and get that support of that little circle. Definitely. And that's step one and step two. And then once you go beyond that and you're like, what, I'm really getting confident now in the gym and I know some of the moves and some of the timings I can use, then you can start to prepare your own program. So there are lots of cool apps and online resources now. We've got our own obviously at buffgirls.com, but there's lots of other places you can go to get cool workout ideas, free as well, or a proper program that's structured. And then you can take your little piece of paper in and experience the weights floor for yourself. And that is when you know that you've really become confident in the gym space. But I've got a little trick you can do if you don't want to go online, it freaks you out, and you just want something simple. Okay. This is my 10 out of 10 trick. Oh, okay. I love it. So once you know a few moves, for example, squats and push-ups, let's start with that. You do my 10 to 1. So you do 10 squats and then 10 push-ups. So just the two exercises? Just the two only. So you just have to know two exercises. Two exercises, that's it. So 10 squats, 10 push-ups. Then 9 squats, 9 push-ups. Then 8 and 8, 7 and 7, 6 and 6, all the way down to 1 and 1, and you're done. So it's just that
two move workout.
Move, and then you've done the 10 out of 10 workout. Now you can do that for a bunch of different exercises. You could go squats and push-ups, and then you could do high knee runs on the spot and skipping, and you could just keep going, and that's your own workout that you've created. You can use any equipment for it, or do it right here in the lounge room.
It's so funny, you know, Libby, what you're talking about from a psychologist perspective is what we call systematic desensitization.
Okay.
It's the way that we reduce anxiety and build confidence, you know, starting small, going a little bit, you know, you've got to go that little bit outside your comfort zone.
Yes.
And then that kind of, you become familiar with it and comfortable, and then just going out as far as you want to go.
100%, and you know, there's a really cool little analogy that I actually use to talk about this, which I call, you know, I talk about a fire. You know, everyone, I think when they're starting workouts, they talk about, they want the motivation, they want the fire, you know, that burning fire inside them that says, get out and go to the gym, I'm this healthy, fit person. That's the fire that everyone wants, right? I mean, everyone's experienced that.
I hear this all the time.
Yeah, and so, and people go, you know, oh, but I don't have that, so, you know, but here's the magic way to think about it, is that how do you get a fire? I mean, you can't just go like you did with your little bit of magic and have a fire appear out of nowhere. You have to build it.
You create the fire.
So you create the fire, and you can't have that motivation without taking the steps to get it. Like, motivation comes from action, not from just appearing magically. So I always talk about, you know, then people go, okay, well, my steps to building the fire, I've got a goal, which is I want to lose 20 kilos. But that's a big log to put on the fire, and you can't start a fire with a big log because it won't actually catch, because it's too overwhelming for the fire to take hold of.
Start with kindling.
Start with the kindling. So start with the twigs and the paper, and you know, that might be your podcast walks, or just a little, you know, 10 minutes skipping at home, or playing with the kids every day. A movement culture. That's the kindling. And then getting into the gym. That's that log. That's the case. I'm ready for something a bit bigger, and I'm at the gym every day. And then all of a sudden, you have done those things, you get used to it, you start loving it, and then the fire is burning, and you suddenly are someone that loves to move.
Couldn't agree more.
Good.
So Libby, thank you so much for those ideas.
So welcome. It was lovely to hang here with you.
Totally, and we will have to stop ourselves because we can talk about this stuff all day.
I know, we're actually two talkers. It's not a good combo, but it is, but it's not.
It is good, it is good. So we will shut up for you guys. But before we do, guys, I want to give you the details of Libby's newsletter, because I really want you to sign up for that. Libby, you know, in our programs, it's all about principles, and people end up eating a lot better, they end up moving more, 100%. But then there's always this question, okay, what exactly do I do? And that's why it's so important for us to meet with you and bring things to that next step. Yeah,
definitely. And you know, this kind of journey to health and fitness, it really is it is really something you have to stay curious about, but it is important to have some help with, you know, planning it to start with. So, you know, the beauty of our programs is, like you guys, we believe in not necessarily having rules, but, you know, having or creating some standards for yourself, creating some principles that you operate by. But we provide really cool daily workouts that are options for you guys to do, so you have something to do, you know what to do, and you know, food ideas and principles too. So most certainly there's nutrition guidance and workout guidance, which is always good.
Libby, you stole my question, because whenever I sort of, and I do this in my practice, whenever someone's doing like an 8-week program or a gym workout, I always check with the trainers. I'm like, so can we do this in a flexible way? Can we, you know,
100%.
Do you have to take the meal plans as a prescription that you have to do exactly, or is it just ideas? Can you tone down the exercise? And you've just answered all of those questions. Yeah,
well, I think it's really important. You know, our program is 6 weeks, right? And every week you have a food idea that you're learning about, and you practice that as you learn about it. But you don't have to eat exactly X, Y, and Z, because let's be honest, nobody's going to do that. Like, if I try and eat exactly 1,200 calories a day, I will fail every time. Like, it's just too hard to count every meal. It's just, I don't know, it's not real life.
It's not real life.
It's always flexible, but always guided.
So guys, you heard it straight from the Buff Girl's mouth.
Yes.
If and when you do one of the Buff Girls online programs, or you read Libby's new book, which will be out soon.
I'm just finishing it now.
Then you have permission to do it in a way that is right for you. So guys, we're going to provide the link to your website, www.buffgirls.com.
Yes, buffgirls.com, one F only. For beautiful,
totally.
Fearless.
And we'll provide links so you can get all linked up with Libby. Libby, thank you so much.
Thank you. That was an absolute pleasure, and thank you for having me, guys. It was so nice to digitally meet you.
And guys, of course, if you haven't already, sign up, subscribe for Thursday Therapy, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Until then, oh, you know what actually, Lib, I just thought of? You have some free workouts.
Yeah, totally, we do. Actually, if you are on buffgirls.com and you scroll towards the bottom of the page, you can see there are 10 free workouts there that you can pick up and take with you. So when you are ready to hit the gym floor, all you have to do is take those with you and you've got some ideas what to do.
Enjoy your movement until next Thursday Therapy.
Have fun. It really gets in your head down.
Oh, it doesn't it? Yeah. Talking. This is so good. Even the phone agrees.
A good sign.